Hello everybody, welcome to Inside PitLogic episode number 5. Been a long time since our last one, apologize for the delay. We just got done moving our studios from Snohomish, Washington to here in the Indianapolis area. We did it a brick at a time and it took a lot longer than expected. In today's episode we're going to talk about moving data. We've had a lot of questions lately from users about how they can share or move data from one device to another or share with teammates. So today we're going to talk about setups, shocks, tires, and checklists, and the different ways we have to look at that across multiple devices or multiple people. I'm going to start by popping the phone up on the screen. From the main menu, we'll look at setups first. For setups, we have two different ways to share data. One is one setup at a time with a share code, and the other is to use the PitLogic backup system. So starting with the share code, if I wanted to share a setup with somebody, I would find that setup in the list, and from the main menu, I will long touch it until this menu pops up. I'll choose Share Securely with a Code. I'll type in a code and click OK. And now that setup and all the details for each of the sessions on the track are going to be uploaded securely to the PitLogic cloud and ready for whoever you give that code to download. Now, if they want to download one, I can show that example. I have one that I just uploaded on another phone. From the Add New button on the main menu, we click that right here. And then we say Download from the web. And we type in the code that the other user or we made ourselves. Put in the code, click OK. Now it'll go to the PitLogic cloud and it'll download that setup. And here you can see I downloaded a setup from this last weekend from another device. Then if I click up on that setup, it'll have all the different times on the track and all the setup information that we entered on the other device. So that's how you do one setup at a time with the code. That's all secure. Nobody can see that setup except for those people you give the code to. And just like any other share codes in PitLogic, those only live for 2 hours. So after that time, that code expires. So if people are trying to guess codes or that type of thing, that just doesn't work. Our other way to do setups is through the PitLogic backup system. If I go to the main menu and I go to settings and I look at my account, on the settings screen, you can have your PitLogic set to backup automatically. There it's turned on or not, either way. If I do it automatically, then every time I update a setup, it's going to be updated not only on this device, but then the next time you have an internet connection, it'll also be uploaded to the PitLogic cloud under only your account, so only you can see it, and it'll be available for download if you get a new device or want to restore your backups on a different piece of equipment. If I don't have it set up to do automatically, which is the default, not to, then I can go to settings and backup current data, and it'll show you all the setups that are in your system that are not yet backed up, and you can just click the Start Backup button, and they will start uploading to your account on the PitLogic cloud as soon as the next time you have a connection. Later, if I would like to restore those backups or bring them down on my account from another device, then as long as I'm logged in with the same PitLogic username and password, I can go to settings and restore backups. And I can choose different backups to click on and then click restore selected, and then those will be downloaded onto this device. So that's a great way to handle multiple setups. If you get a new phone, ran over your phone with the quad, or you want to restore your backups from your phone to a tablet and so on. So that's how we do setups. The next one we're going to do is shocks. Shocks are very similar to the share a single setup method. When I'm looking at my shock list here, if I want to send the data for these shocks to another user, then I go to the action menu here on the shock list and I choose select shocks to share. I can then highlight as many different shocks as I want and then click share 4 selected shocks. In this case, I have 4 of them clicked. Put in a code, make sure it's at least 4 characters, click OK. And now those shocks will be uploaded to the web, and whoever you give that code to in the next 2 hours, they can then download that shock data to their device. And this will work for shocks that you've manually entered all the data on your device, or shocks that the data has been filled by a manufacturer through a shock request. Either way, once that data is on your device, it's now there for good, and you can share that with whoever you like. The next one I was going to look at is tires. So if I go to tires from the main menu, By default, I have this tire list here where I've entered some tires in previously. And if I want to share this list with the tire guy on our team, or if he wants to share it with me, he'll just go to the action menu, click share tire list, put in another code, click OK. And now that tire list has been uploaded to our account on the PitLogic cloud. And for the next 2 hours, that code can be downloaded and the tire list moved to another device. That way you can have the tire guy in the trailer before the race, the night before, or 10 minutes before, measure all the tires, put them into their PitLogic, and then can upload them and you can download them into yours. And now you have the tire list and all your Stager choices you need at your fingertips when the race day gets started. A lot of times before I download a tire list, I'll go to the action menu and select delete all these tires and say yes. And then those tires are now gone out of the system. So then if I go back and say download tire list and I put in that same code that we just put in, then you can see the list is now downloaded into the system and ready for use. The last item we have is our checklists. Checklists not only can be shared, but they can also be synced so that when you check an item on one device, it will be checked off on the one you're using as well. So I'm going to open up another phone here really quick, and I'm going to open up my PitLogic, go to checklist, and I'll show this in just 1 minute, but I'm just going to do it on here. So now I've just shared a checklist on another device. And now I'm going to go here and say get synced list. I'm going to put in the code that I just put on the other device. Click OK. And not only will it download the checklist, but now you can see the little syncing symbol over here on the left. And when I click on that checklist, here it is from the other device. Let's see, we haven't done the header bolts on that one yet. So now on my other device, I'm going to open up and I'm going to mark off header bolts, and it gets marked off on that list. And then you can see the next time that I go into the list here, it's also marked on there. If I was more patient, it would be marked off here in a couple of seconds too. But so there you have it. That's how we can share checklists, tires, shocks, and setups from one device to another. Thank you for taking the time to watch today. If you have any other questions, you can send them to kevin@pitlogic.com or any of our other social media handles. I wish everybody good luck racing this weekend, and we'll have some more episodes coming up shortly.